Attention passengers, this is SNY's Keith Hernandez, and this is a Queens-bound 7 Express train, the fastest way to Citi Field to see your Metsies.
How sweet it is, boys. Welcome to another 7 Express Live. I'm your guy, David from Top Bunk Sports, and I got my other guys, AP, Amish, and Chris. What up, fellas? How we feeling?
Bro, I'm feeling clean on this side. Queen, we are clean.
Oh, man. AP, Amish, how we feeling, brothers?
Street sweepers out here. We just sweeping these bums out of our town. Oh man, that felt good. I loved every last minute of whooping that Philly ass.
Yo, listen, it felt good because y'all know as much as anybody, I can't stand that state of Philadelphia. I can't stand their football team. I can't stand their basketball team. I can't stand the Phillies. I just can't. They run their mouths in any way, shape, or form, and they don't care, man. And they don't care. So when the ass whooping comes to them, you don't see them motherfuckers. You don't. They're nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. So I'm happy that when we have the opportunity to go and do what we do to the Phillies, I'll take it. Amish, how we feeling about this so far? What's the vibes looking like?
I'm distracted, but no, we feeling good. The I mean, anytime you beat Philly is amazing. I hate that city so much.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't hate them more than Atlanta, but we'll get to them when the time comes. But yeah, I mean, how could you not feel good about beating the Phillies and really, I mean, just playing as good a baseball as you can. I mean, the offense still is whatever, but it's just I don't know. I don't know how you could complain about what we've been seeing from this team right now.
Absolutely.
You know, I want, like, this is gonna be, to me, maybe the most positive podcast that we've done in the history of this. And because I don't even want to think about no negatives. I'm just positive, like, right now, because I just need to be positivity in my life. So, what positive topic are we gonna hit right now?
How about this? How about we since we deserve it, right? Because we've played great baseball for the last 2 series. Let's go into the hate real quick. Let's go into the negatives and address some of the comments that have been said. When we went into this 4-game series against,
I want to let you know I hate you, but okay.
Okay, hey, I'm gonna make you feel uncomfortable today, all right? Because all these motherfuckers want to talk out their ass, and then when the Mets do what they're doing, I don't see nobody on my.
I literally said, let's all get a positive. He immediately said, we're going to the hate. Positive. I don't understand.
This is
kind of positive.
Positive coming from top. This is positivity coming from top. When we went into that 4-game series against the St. Louis Cardinals, what was the one thing that they said on the timeline? Yo, you got to be careful. The Cardinals are playing great baseball. Yo, the Cardinals are dangerous right now. Nolan Arenado is a beast. And what happened? What was Nolan Arenado doing? Nada. Sleeping at the wheel. What was the St. Louis Cardinals doing? Getting their ass whooped 4 games straight, and we sent them packing. And then everybody said, yo, the Phillies are right behind y'all. They're 13-9. Bryce Harper's starting to heat up. And what happened? Where was Bryce Harper? Where was Bryce Harper? Bryce Harper was nowhere to be found. That brother was swinging and missing. That ball is outside the strike zone all 3 games. They were nowhere to be found. And when they had a little spark, what Pete Alonso said, calm it down. I got ya. And then Marte said, yo, I'm gonna bring the party to me. Bring the Marte party to me. I'm gonna finish it off, and we're gonna go to Washington happy with a sweep.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, they told us that we had to be careful. They told us we had to be humble. Put us in position. I don't know, man. I don't see the negatives. I don't see nobody now.
All right. Well, all right. Let's focus on the games because this is what everybody wants to talk about. We are not going to waste any time. Game 1 of this 3-game set. I talked about this a little bit on Twitter, and if you're following me, thank you. I appreciate you. Like, I really do think that the way that this series stacked up initially, the pitching matchup favored Philly crazy. I mean, Nola, Sanchez, and Wheeler back to back to back. And we're throwing out McGill, Canning, and Peterson. Tell me, out of those 3, which matchup you felt we had an edge on pitching wise on any of them going in?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I might sound crazy.
Which one?
The first one gets Nola. We own Nola. Nola doesn't.
I mean, Nola's been up and down, but he could get it together at any point. But you're right. Maybe if we had one, maybe especially with the way McGill is pitching. So I'll give you that.
And I might sound crazy. I felt good against Wheeler. The Christopher Sanchez one was the one that I was like, I don't know. We don't hit this guy for some odd reason. But next to that, we took him out. I don't know what we did. We scared the dogs. What we did to Philly, you could tell we're in their heads because the way they played. They played horrible. We know that they played horrible defense. Every time they play against Fernandez says it all the time. But the way they played, it seems like they were scared in their head. Look at Christopher Sanchez. All of a sudden, he had arm fatigue and everything. You know what came out the next day after he pitched? Oh, I'm feeling better now. Oh, yeah, because you left City Field. That's why you're feeling better now. It's like these guys was running away from the Mets. Like the Mets really own these guys. I'm sorry, it is what it is.
Yeah, I was more worried about Wheeler than Christopher Sanchez, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because of what you just brought up. When Christopher Sanchez is struggling, he doesn't go deep. For some reason, when Wheeler pitches against us, it's like he's throwing a fucking a gem. And then you're seeing look how game 3 went. Brett Beatty found a nice ball in the zone and actually put the burrow to it and took him yard. He settled in right after that. He's been doing that against us ever since
that's the best thing about Wheeler, that this man, nothing phases him. He gets stronger by the inning. So it's good to come out and get a win. If you notice, the last two times we beat Wheelers when he gets to the bullpen. After the Mets get to the bullpen, they always beat those games that Wheeler pitches. But hey, listen, a sweep is a sweep. It seemed like the Mets did it with ease, even in the first game. It was an easy win. If it wasn't for Diaz imploding a little bit and Kranick, in reality, you take that one pitch out the game, the Mets win 5-0 or 5-1, and it's the same thing. Set game 2, game 3 was a little tough one. Like I said, when you play scared, you're gonna make mistakes, and that's what the Phillies did. The manager didn't know what to call for our challenge because he ran out of time. They're so lost in their heads and their ways. Miss Castellanos will never run on Juan Soto ever again. Like
Chris, Chris, I want to say something to what you said because I think it's a major point, and I want to talk to you guys about that. Tell me if I'm wrong. Based off this series, does it not seem that Carlos Mendoza as a manager is light years ahead of the manager in Philadelphia?
Oh yeah, you could just tell. Like this guy in Philly, I don't know. These old managers, and this happening. We're seeing it in Atlanta. It looks like don't be surprised that man is gone by the middle of the year.
I was just gonna say that.
And Bobby Thompson is like, he looks like he doesn't have control of the clubhouse, whatever. They just look like they're doing their own thing. Like they're not playing smart baseball. He doesn't look like he knows what he's doing, what's going on. So 100%. Maybe it's just that the Mets are that prepared. The Mets are ready for the challenge. The Mets are trying to prove a statement, and they did. And Philly don't look like they they care anymore. Like it looks like they just in their heads, and it looks like the Mets own them, and they're showing it. Like they really are showing it with their at bats, with the way they play. It's crazy.
I also think it's a
I'm sorry, Top. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say to add on to his point. I also think it's a situation where that team's not getting any younger, and at some point when
good point,
you're not getting any younger, and you go from making the World Series to being bounced out of the first round. If you're trying to be an aggressive GM, you got to look at Rob Thompson and you're like, listen, we're not. It looks like we're on a decline. So they have to make the playoffs with these guys. You got to make the playoffs with a Harper and the contract that he's on. Same thing with a Trey Turner, regardless if he's not living up to the expectations. You have to make the playoffs with this. And right now, it doesn't seem like Rob Thompson has that locker room together. I mean, you're even hearing it from the post game from the Phillies. Every time the Phillies lose, they make it sound like this team just
I love it, by the way. I love that post game. Keep it up, guys. Good work. Nobody hits the Phillies more than the Phillies post game.
Hold up. Breaking news.
Breaking news?
Brett Beatty got sent to AAA for Jeff McNeil.
What? I didn't see that. Yeah,
Brett Beatty went down for McNeil.
I didn't see that coming. I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah,
I'm actually shocked. Why?
Their transaction page says activated Jeff McNeil, option Brett Beatty, and option Hayden Senger. So I'm guessing Senger for Albie, McNeil for.
Guys, I'm kind of surprised by that.
I don't understand that. I guess we'll break that down at the end.
I kind of figured that was going to happen.
Crazy
we could get into that right now. I mean,
you want to talk about it now?
I kind of figured we watched them happen. I had a conversation with one of the Mets security guards. He doesn't work in the front office or whatever, but he's been there for so long and he has a very good insight. And he basically told me there's no other guy that there's no other two guys that you can move right now. As well as Beatty has been hitting the ball as of recent, and as well as Hayden Singer has been, you're not just gonna deny Alvey a spot. Like you're gonna have to bring him up. And then with Jeff McNeil, that's your vet. Like you know what I'm saying. You're not telling Jeff McNeil as your longtime veteran.
My thing with the surprise here is, I mean, you know what? I don't know if it should even be a surprise because you would be doing a disservice to Beatty not playing him every day. I just think you could have done a couple of things to keep him in the lineup. Like, I think that you could have had days where Beatty could have been your third baseman, Vientos could have been the DH. You could have done McNeil in the outfield, maybe, McNeil at the DH. So many different little things to make sure that the lineup is working still and Beatty's getting all those at-bats. I think the move was Oscar, but I also recognize that we don't want to put Miles on Nimmo's legs anymore, and I don't think he's a capable center fielder. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel because Beatty just started hitting. He just started hitting. It almost feels like a Vientos situation, and I don't know what that's going to do to the kid's confidence because I don't think he's on the same wavelength in terms of his mental as Vientos was, because Beatty, we've seen like he's been shaken up with like certain things. So I don't know what this does for his confidence. I hope that it doesn't impact the team. We've been on a roll. But you know, it just sucks. It's unfortunate that it's a numbers crunch and he had to go. But you know, I did like what he was doing lately.
I just want to interject here. I don't give a fuck what Brett Beatty thinks or how he feels. Like, I just don't like. Listen,
thank you.
There's a problem with what Brett Beatty's doing. It's too little, too late.
That's true. That is true.
The only thing he provides is a few hits here and there and a mediocre glove. Acuna can give you everything Beatty can. Plus, he's got speed. Plus, you can bring him in off the bench to steal a base.
I would like to retract my last statement. Amish, you have the floor.
And Amish, to just add on to your point before you continue, people, all of a sudden, Brett Beatty's been putting the barrel to the ball the last few games, and all of a sudden, oh, he deserves a spot up here. But yeah, we're just killing the brother in the beginning of the month.
Yeah.
All right, I relinquished my statement. Damn it.
Hey Pete, let's
No. I'm one of those people. I raise my hand. I'm one of those people. I'll call a spade. I don't lie. I'll keep it a buck. I wanted him out of here packing, but what I saw from him lately is that the guy was starting to like build it up. Like he started off so shitty that his like average was like what do you call it, 101. To get it from 101 to 204 in that span of time shows you how hot of a hitter he was at this point. He was starting to actually hit, and I think he's a better third baseman defensively than Vientos. I think he gets the ball better. I have more confidence in him playing third base in terms of just overall just fielding. But what you guys are saying is 100%. Now, I also mix that in with the fact that I'm looking at who they're bringing in. It's not just Brett Beatty by himself, but we're including McNeil. And I think because of the chemistry standpoint, it makes me nervous to make this move just off the chemistry standpoint, because I do think that McNeil has a tendency when things aren't going right to lose his mind. And I don't need that right now. We don't need that in this moment. We've won 7. The vibes are good. I don't want somebody coming in and acting like, oh man, like I don't need that. Like I don't want anything to upset anything. I don't want no beef between my MVP shortstop and second baseman, because I love the combo with Acuna and him. Like they seem to like really understand each other. So I don't know. I think it's just the vibes, but I get it. It's not like I'm subscribing to the Beatty fan club. I'm not getting his jersey. I'm not thinking anything Beatty, but it was cool to see him doing that. Now, if you tell me we're trading him tomorrow, goodbye, Beatty. Goodbye. But as of now, I'm just saying it was nice to see what he was doing. And knock on wood, McNeil comes in and doesn't disrupt anything. Another dude that we need to think about is also Alvarez and how he's going to come in and integrate himself. I think Singer did what the most he could do at this point, and I think that Alvarez is an upgrade. But I'll tell you this much. The way Torrens is playing, even though his bat has kind of dipped a little bit, I'm not just handing the reins to Alvarez. I think Alvarez has got to prove that he should be the starter. And I don't know if he's there yet. That's my take.
I don't necessarily disagree with that, but Alvarez is going to play. Let's face it. They're not going to sit Alvy.
But would you play him every day? Would you play him every day? Or would you do like a platoon?
Catchers never play every day, but he's going to get the majority of the reps. He just is. Unless he like comes out and just is slumping like bad, I don't see Torrens getting a lot of playing time. And
you couldn't see a world right now where they split it, and as opposed to having him be like a Sunday catcher. Like Todd Pratt used to be when Mike Piazza used to play. You never saw Mike Piazza on Sundays. Yeah, would you say that Torrens gets at least 2 or 3 games a week?
I don't see it unless they decide to use Alvy as a DH, but they would have probably tried to keep a third catcher in that case. Like I just don't see it happening. Alvy's gonna get the reps. He's gonna get the shot to prove he can figure it out. The guy's got the pedigree. He's just never been able to stay healthy and put it all together. Now's the time to prove it. Now you got to show us. And if he doesn't, then maybe you reconsider and throw Torrens in there. But he's gonna get his burn. And the other thing, going back to Beatty, the biggest thing too is he had options where the other homeboy Zokar didn't. So that alone probably played the key factor in that. They can send Beatty down and not worry about it. They probably, given their outfield situation and homeboy Siri being hurt, they don't want to lose a guy that's an actual outfielder while we're considering playing Acuna and freaking McNeil in center field. So, yeah, I just don't see it. I see Alvy's gonna play. Hopefully he comes out hot. McNeil's probably going to get a lot of reps. I hope they find a way to get Acuna in there a bit though, because he's also been heating up and he's provided a spark, and I hate to just bury him on the bench.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I totally agree with that. The reason why I say I was shocked with the Brett Beatty move because I didn't. Not that I wanted Brett Beatty. I obviously know that Acuna brings more to the table than Beatty. It's just it is what it is. I just thought that the Mets, the way they were speaking, I was just trying to read the tea leaf. But then again, you know these guys throw curveballs at you. They say one thing and then throw a curveball at you. Like, oh, we're gonna give Acuna the shot at center field, some reps and everything. I didn't like the idea. Don't get me wrong, I did not like the idea. But
fuck the Giants. Sorry.
let me guess.
this team,
the Giants draft. Let me guess. The Giants drafted somebody.
This team, bro, this
Who
organization.
they drafted? We can pause. Who they drafted?
Oh my God, I can't, bro. Let me calm myself down before I flip the fuck out, bro.
Okay, so let me go back to my take, and then the Giants. Okay, so what I was saying is that I didn't see it coming. I really thought the Beatty was gonna stay with Acuna and they were gonna work that the way around that. But it is the smartest move if you want to be fair. Like Beatty got his shot. Beatty got his shot, like Amish said, more than they should have. And Acuna brings more to the table. It is what it is. He could play second, he could play third, he could play center, emergency. Beatty can play second and third. The second is like his learning position, but Acuna is just it's a better option right now. And Amish is right. A Ahsoka, you can't really send him down because then you have no outfield depth. I don't know what their plan is for the future because 6 to 8 weeks is what 2 months, 2.5 months. It's like we'll see where that goes, but hopefully
Yeah.
Neil comes with a spark. And Alvi, I saw his numbers in rehab. I know his rehab, but it's very alarming, guys.
Yeah, I wasn't thrilled.
He's striking out like at a 40% clip right now.
That's what I'm saying, and like I feel like that to me makes me like kind of say there. I don't think we should rush Alvarez to.
Stop, it's okay.
No, it's not. It's not that. It's not that.
I know you.
I can see it in his face. Like he's physically hurting right now.
I got over it, but then I'm seeing Amish do this, and he's like,
I know both of you are like over the Giants pick.
Okay.
We should not have done this during the draft. I'm nervous. My Jets are gonna mess me up in a few minutes.
I'm gonna tell you the name.
I'll probably go blank.
I'm gonna tell you the name before we. And look, this is why that the admin behind this Giants account should never see the day of life, because not only did they draft a pass rusher who they say is elite, right? But not one Giant fan that I spoke to brought him up. Then this admin that's behind this account put "We got him" in all caps.
All right. Well,
Carter, that Carter guy.
Carter. Well, I mean,
I heard he's good. I don't know.
In Mets land, Carter's a Hall of Famer, so maybe that'll happen. But maybe going back to this, the first game that we had, just recapping that because I want to go back to it and then we could move on. But the first game that we had with McGill, I absolutely love the fact that McGill seemed to have challenge players. I thought that was so dope to see him kind of just go after some of these Phillies and just say, all right, hit this fastball if you can. And the fact that the Phillies were not able to catch up to his fastball and he challenged them, that's really cool to see. Like McGill did his thing. I really don't have, and Kranick continued. If there's one person that I'm on this team that I'm like super excited about, just about the potential that we haven't seen before is Kranick. Kranick has been put in crappy situations left and right. Even the last game, just put in like messed up situations, and he's been able to come out and do his thing. He saved the bullpen that game for the rest of the series. He basically, I thought that if there was one slip up this series, it was Mendoza leaving Kranick in for too long. I think he should have gone to him a little bit early. He should have taken him out after that. If you were going to keep him in the ninth, at least after like the initial hit, I think it would have been time to take him out. But I know, I get it. He was trying to save the bullpen. Kranick was the man. Diaz, shaky. He was shaky there. But he got the job done eventually. But that game one, where we basically that game one is a very like it was a very smooth game. Like I know that we didn't add the insurance funds until like later, but it never felt like the game was in doubt. Like I think like McGill held them down. There was no stressful innings. I think that game was a very dominant performance by the Mets pitching staff, and the Mets offense just did enough. It's almost like the formula that they've been following.
Well, the offense was
down
just
and then the
Lindor.
offense get some more runs.
Lindor was the captain. Took over that game. That's what happened.
Yes, sir.
Captain
MVP. Look, Lindor right now. Lindor and Alonso are what I like to call the Soto effect. Basically, they've taken Soto's powers and they've just gone off. Lindor is like blast off. Alonso's doing things we haven't seen since 2019. It feels like, and it's just like, all right, you guys are. Alonso's hitting 324. Lindor has like 5 home runs, and I'm like, yo, like if so,
his OPS is 840, bro.
I mean, it's insane. And the stat was, I don't remember it off the top of my head, but it was something ridiculous where Lindor hits a leadoff hit, the Mets usually win the game. I'm like, man, like
you want to know something crazy, AP?
Yeah.
Last year, I think Lindor, if I'm not mistaken, was at 110, 120 at this time. Last year, right? April?
Yeah.
And he ended up hitting 270. He's hitting 300 now. Is this man gonna battle his 500 for us? He's crazy.
Yo, if this is his cold, Chris, if this is his cold month now, oh man, like really, like yo, sign me up. Sign me for this cold right now to see where this man heats up.
It's crazy because this might be the I mean, and I don't want to say might, I think it will be, where he finally gets his respect as an all-star. And again, it's one of those situations where,
well, that's not enough for the fans. We gotta vote for this guy, man.
You're seeing. Well, I have a theory that I don't think a lot of fans vote in general, and I think that's what fucks it up. You know, a lot of people always put
I agree with
vote Lindor, and then when the results come out and it's how come he didn't get voted? I don't think this fan base does enough to vote for their players. I'm gonna be honest, but that's a whole different conversation for another day. I think
one thing, you're absolutely correct, but one thing I'm going to go out on a limb, but I don't think it's much of a limb. This year, the Mets are currently, I want to say, I saw 7th in a report, but Flip mentioned it was 6th. So they're 6th or 7th in attendance. Mm-hmm. The attendance has gone up 5,000 people coming in per game, more than last year. That was in the middle of April, in the middle of the cold, in the middle of playing the Marlins, playing the Blue Jays. Obviously, we had the home opener there, and you had the Phillies and the Cardinals. We packed the house almost every single game. This year, I do believe that the Mets fan base, rejuvenated by the effort of Cohen, by signing obviously Soto and everything, I feel that the Mets fans are going to show out this year. You will see Alonso there. You will see Lindor there. And you potentially have an opportunity to see maybe a starting pitcher there. I don't know. But as of now, if this continues and the Mets are this hot, let me say this for the non-believers. We're number 1 in baseball. Not in our division, not in the NL.
Yes,
the
sir.
Entire damn sport.
Yes, sir.
So if we continue to play on, I don't want to say I told you so, but I'm just gonna keep it. I think that
what was that prediction again?
I know I'm not gonna jinx it, but I want to say that I think the Mets fan base is really gonna get these guys out there. I think Lindor, with the streak, I think he's gonna do what he's gonna do. I don't know what the emotions are that you're going through. Did the Giants really mess up your evening this bad?
To end the Giant conversation, Abdul Carter is not bad. He is not bad. I watched a lot of Penn State football. He's a really good pick. Just the problem is it goes back to what I said. Well, Amish also said it as well. They don't know where to start. They don't know where to pivot. And even though Shador Sanders is not everybody's, favorite guy, obviously Cam Ward, he's going to Tennessee. it was kind of expected. You know, the Giants really weren't going to get him. But if you have another quarterback that is at least up there in the draft, you have an opportunity to at least get somebody young that may not be everybody's cup of tea, but you don't know how he's going to turn out if you just take that chance. See, the problem, what they did was you got 2 veteran QBs, and you only got them on a 1-year deal where they're guaranteed, it's not guaranteed that they come back. So now you're in a situation where you got to use your 3rd stringer, and he may not be as good this year. Like, that's the problem. They're kind of screwed in the QB situation. If they would have drafted Sanders, at least they would have had a young kid that they could have built around. They could have at least brought a Jameis Winston back, regardless of how he performed, and kept that veteran presence in there. So now you have 2 vets as a quarterback that may shit the bed, and you don't know where you're going to be in that direction for the quarterback position. So that's why I was frustrated. It's not because of the player that we drafted, because he's good. It's just that if you have an opportunity as being the number 3rd pick in the draft, and as high as you are with that opportunity, and you know that you're in a disastrous situation for the quarterback, you could have just drafted a quarterback and build off of that. So that's only where my frustration comes in. I know Amish knows a little bit more than I do. So
we got him. We got him. Giants country. Let's ride.
Wow. Amish is coming back. Go ahead, Amish. Get it out.
No, I got nothing. This team, I got nothing to say.
He said,
"Let's go."
I'm
close to the Buffalo.
Let's ride out. He knows
what Buffalo anymore. Anyway, let's go Buffalo. It's all good. It's a 2-hour drive from Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo.
Hey, you're closer than me, bro. So you can catch more games if you want.
All right, I'm leaving I don't care about the Giants, but if the Giants trade back into the 1st round and get a QB, would you be okay with that?
I'll feel a lot better.
All right,
I feel a lot better.
Yeah, but I think I read it before and I heard on the radio. They talking about trading back in the 1st round.
I've been hearing the same. I've been hearing.
I just don't know what that.
I got to see it before I give them any credit. If they do that, then fine. But right now, I'm irritated. But when let's go Mets. What
leave it at this.
So let's go to game 2. Let's go to game 2.
Real quick. When you walk away from paying your running back in Saquon Barkley, it just tells you a lot about this front office. But I'll leave it at that. Game 2 was even better, just for the simple fact
they ran away with the win. You like what that was there, right?
Look, that game 2,
right, Chris.
That game 2, setting it all up because
I picked that up as soon as you said it.
They ran away with game 2. All right, that's good. What they did in that game, I think, was pretty cool because I don't know about you guys, but I was a little nervous for Canning because I wasn't sure what he was going to bring. But man, like Canning is, man, Stearns. I don't know if it's Stearns, like his eye for like seeing like talent. I don't know if it's the baseball lab. I don't know if it's Hefner. But one of the things I saw on the social media was that the Mets are the new Milwaukee Brewers, and I'm like, really, what does that mean? And I saw like the comparisons, how you could like kind of like get these like projects and you could like make them better and make them serviceable pitchers. And I'm looking at Canning, I'm like, man, this is a guy that had almost a 6 ERA, had been designated for assignment by the Atlanta Braves, the last place Atlanta Braves, and nobody was given a shot. When we signed him, I remember everybody's like, yo, that's crazy. I know we did like a kind of a deep dive. We've talked about it before, looked a little bit closer into the numbers. And I was like, okay, it looks like this guy, when he gets hit ridiculous, but he tends to keep, for the majority of the games, like 20 games, I would say, with the Angels, he was able to keep the score like he's done it now. He keeps the team in it, and he's able to throw a quality start. The reason why his ERA is really ballooned is because of the fact that his fastball was getting killed. What the Mets were able to do in terms of making this man serviceable and making his fastball a weapon is almost like he throws the kitchen sink at you and he pitches you backwards. And then he throws a fastball when you're not expecting it at all. So a 94, this is why I tell you, I don't give a damn if you throw 103. If you can't pitch, it does nothing. You have to be a pitcher. You could get away with throwing 94 if you know where to locate and you know where to put the ball. I think Canning right now is going through the process of becoming a pitcher. And I think that it took a team like the Mets to sit there and be like, okay, your fastball is getting killed because you're throwing in different situations that's getting you killed. Let's switch it up. And the mastery, like this guy literally gutted that win out. Like he went out there and did his damn thing. I'm I apologize to you, Stearns. I did not know your game. My hat is off to you. Like you, sir, know way more than me. That's why you get paid the millions of dollars. Griffin Canning has been a godsend to this team because look at the injuries that we got and how he's been able to pitch into this pitching staff, this rotation. He's held it down and he's did everything that we've expected him. He outdueled Sanchez, who unfortunately it feels like he left because of injury. But to me, I think it was more hurt pride. Like the Mets were, the dude had in 2 innings, he had 56 some odd pitches in 2 innings. The guy that came in with the 2-something ERA, and the Mets were just working his ass. And I really think that that's telling about the approach that the Mets are having on these. And I think that that's the secret to being in the Philadelphia Phillies. There's no secret anymore. We're seeing the Phillies bullpen get wildly exposed to the point where this guy is trying to ride his starters as much as he can, but he can't. Romano is nothing like he's pitched before. Like the Mets beat him up twice. Who in that Phillies bullpen are you scared of? Like there's not one name there that I'm like, oh my God, this guy's in, we're screwed. The Mets didn't. That's the one thing about game 2 that I got annoyed that we didn't mollywop Joe Ross. I'm like, oh my God, like this dude should have been destroyed. He kept the Phillies in the game, but the Mets were able to get it done. And late innings, we got the Pete Alonso, who always seems to clutch up, gets that double, gets us the lead, and then Torrens with the bases loaded, intentional walk that they gave ahead of him. He said, all right. And he deposited a single into left, and the Mets ended up taking a big lead. So winning that 5-1 game, a game that was tight, but the Mets just didn't. The Mets bullpen, whether it's Brazoban or Stanek, even Danny Young did well in this series. Like, how about that? Like, it's a different bullpen arm that comes in and just seems to like be like, all right, I got you, and he picks it up. There's not enough for me to say I loved every bit of Canning's performance. I think he to me was him. You can't front on Alonso again because he doing this thing. Lindor keeps doing stuff. I mean the Mets game 2, I loved it again. It was like a repeat of game 1. Basically, hold it down, make sure you get those late RBIs against the bullpen, and just get the win.
Right, Griffin Canning, not just Griffin Canning, but Griffin Canning specifically, is one of the main reasons that I just get so annoyed with the crowd of fans that likes to, and they're quiet now because you won't hear a peep out of them, but there was a ton of fans bitching about David Stearns and how he's low budget Stearns, and the only reason we got Soto was because of Cohen, and Stearns is sleeping, and Stearns doesn't know how to manage a big market club, and blah blah fucking blah, and it's nonstop, and it annoyed the hell out of me because I've seen what he did in Milwaukee, and this is how it works. This guy finds guys that nobody really knows about, and he builds rotations and builds bullpens that are really freaking good. And his teams win ball games and make the playoffs every year. But people they don't dive into it. They just see, oh, Griffin Canning, he sucked last year. And David Stearns is an idiot. Like, and so, but like I said, now you won't hear anything out of those people. They'll shut the hell up until next offseason when they complain about the next thing we did or didn't do that they wanted. But it's all right. Like, Stearns is going to keep building winners, and I trust the man, and I will continue to trust him until he gives me a reason not to, and he hasn't given me that reason. And so, anyways, so that was a little tangent there, but yeah, how could you not be happy?
You're 100%. You're 100%. I think that everything that you're saying is God honest truth. I think that, and I'll take personal responsibility for being for doing that a lot. Like, we as fans think that, like, oh man, why are you getting that guy? Like, he sucked there. Not understanding what the general manager sees. You don't get 1,000 all-stars. No team ever does. That's not how you make a roster. You need to have a roster full of guys that are going to bring different things to the table. And we need to, as fans, we need to understand we don't have access to all of the things that these general managers see. We don't see the dynamics. We don't see, you know what it is? It's like you're buying a house. When you're looking at the house, you aren't going to always find the mansion, right? Like, there's not a lot of mansions out there for you, or the mansion is going to cost you a lot of money. Sometimes you got to see the potential, and the potential is what's going to make the house that much more beautiful. The potential that it has, the fit that it has to you, like what you could do with it. And sometimes I feel like we want like this like amazing thing, when sometimes the diamond in the rough is what becomes the amazing thing. Case in point, Jose Iglesias last year. So what you're saying is 1,000%, and I think that more fans need to take responsibility for being ridiculous.
I also think it's a situation where guys don't do their research, and this goes back to what Amish was saying. If you're a baseball head and you watch the game and you don't watch it's not only the Mets that you watch. Like us, right? We love the game of baseball. We cherish the game of baseball. We watch it on a daily, right? But if you're somebody that not only watches the Mets, but you're watching other clubs to just get a feel around the league and do your research, you would understand that David Stearns is running a different thing. So when people come out their way and talk about, well, what has he done? Yes, he hasn't done anything, granted, but he is put in a position to get you guys, to get certain guys here to better the position of for each player. It may not be the big names, but it's guys that's going to give you production. It's guys that's going to be there every day, that are not hurt most of the time, and that are going to be out there playing almost all the time. And that's what you're seeing. Instead of him going out there and spending $200 million on a Corbin Burns, who it may not be the same, why not go get myself a Griffin Canning, who is still young and who's throwing 96 plus with a fastball and is a really good pitcher when it comes to location and attacking the strike zone? Why not go bring back a Manaea, who struggled as a San Diego Padre and as a San Francisco Giant, but when he came here, he was a total different pitcher, and he was technically our ace for the second half of the season. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not take another chance on a second-year David Peterson, who found success under this pitching lab since we've been here? Like, there's ways for it to work. And the thing about it is that the proof is in the pudding. It's working. So why are we still questioning this brother's mentality, what he's been doing? Now, granted, like I said, has it resulted in a World Series yet? No, but it's a process. The thing about this fan base is that they want everything now, instead of saying, listen, there's a new regime and there's a process for everything to go through. And at the end of the day, all we know is that when he was in Milwaukee, he's one of the main reasons why they've been successful as long as they have in that division. So why can't we take what he's been able to build over there and see if it works here? And that's been my gripe since day one for a lot of people that have put David Stearns in a negative light. Chris.
Oh, I mean, you guys said it perfectly. Perfect. I'll tell you this much. I'm gonna prepare all you guys an easy task for this off season. Choose all the pitchers that have the highest ERA this year, and guess what? We might sign those guys. Those are the guys on our checkboard. That's just how it's gonna work from here on in. Like, and I'm okay with it, bro. It's It's not a coincidence if you keep doing this 2 years in a row. Like you can't. It's not at that point. It's not coincidence. The man just knows what he's doing. Whatever this pitching lab is, whatever they're doing with these pitchers, and Jeremy Hefner gets all the credit too. Like let's not forget about him. Like whatever he does with these guys, it works. And listen, if they want to keep signing dudes with potential and not the names, I'm up for it. I don't care. As long as it works, I don't care. I don't want the big name. Can you want to know what Coburn Burns' ERA? His ERA is almost close to a 6. Guy's getting paid almost 30 million. Well, he is getting paid $30 million a year with an ERA of 6. Griffin Canning got a 3.12 ERA, and what is he getting paid? I think like $4 million.
Literally,
So
$4 million. Yeah.
it's like come on. It's like you Stearns is doing things that work for him in other places, and if he wants to implement that here and it works, why am I going to complain about it? Like if we're making the playoffs with these pitchers and these pitchers are having success, I don't care who they get. I don't. And remember, there's another thing too. We're developing pitchers too. That's another thing. Like if we're doing that with free agents, can you imagine what we're gonna be doing with these guys that we develop ourselves?
Absolutely.
Like it's gonna be a game changer. So it is what it is. I can't say much more. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. These guys are pitching their lights out. Will they come back down to earth eventually? I'm not gonna come and sit here and say we're gonna have a 2 ERA all year. That's not possible. It's not sustainable.
Hmm.
But if this team is pitching lights out now, number one, and then they go back to the middle of the pack at 5, 6, 7, I'm still gonna be shaking my ass because I didn't think they were capable of that. Like I just thought we were gonna be like the middle of the pack at 15, 20-ish for around there. We at the top of the leaderboard. So hey, listen, just keep riding the wave, keep pitching, keep doing your job. I hope they keep doing what they do, and we keep getting wins. And
And
just they keep playing great baseball. That's all it is. That's all it's all about. Clean baseball, and then things will fall into place.
there's a lot of positives to take out of that because we're not in a situation now where we have to put stress under ourselves to kind of get back in it. We're at the top of the top. We're playing clean baseball. We're playing stress-free baseball. The best part out of that even more, Juan Soto's not even doing what he's doing on a regular basis. He's just doing the little things to help the team little by little. But once he gets going, I papa. That's where it's like, all right, I'm gonna stop playing with my food. Like I'm here to show y'all what I can do. And that's the fun part.
Yeah, I mean they're winning games without Juan Soto being a real big contributor, and other guys. Yensel's not a big contributor right now. The bottom of the lineup is not really a big contributor right now. And you're getting guys back. Alvey is back. Like McNeil. It's crazy enough to say it that we didn't want this guy, but hey, listen, I'm, I'm, I'm kind of happy we're gonna get McNeil back. I want to see what that torpedo bat does. but, but you know what I'm saying? Like, just get these. We're gonna get these reinforcements, and hopefully the vibes keep going, and they keep getting wins. And listen, we all know Juan Soto's gonna. He's gonna at one point. This man's gonna wake up and carry this team on his back like no other. Like he's done it before. I have no problem with him. Like as long as he's getting on base, just keep
That's
getting
it.
on base and
That's
keep
it.
throwing people out at home. That's it. That's all I
And,
care.
and, and again, people got to take that contract out of their heads, man. He's a human being. He's gonna swing at certain pitches that we may be like, he would have laid off for that last year. He's a human being. Human beings go through cold stretch, but when he does get hot, and he does, like you said, Chris, put this team on his back, it's gonna feel different because you're adding another monster to this lineup, and we spoke about that all off season. Yo, look how great this lineup looks with Juan Soto's name in it, and you're seeing it. He's doing the right things to get on base, whether it's just putting the ball, making contact with the baseball, getting regular base hits, taking his walks. At the end of the day, he knows what they're doing. They're trying to pitch around him. And he's like, all right, you could continue to get pitching around me. You want to know why? Because I got guys that are gonna move me around the base pads, and we're gonna score runs. And if you know what I'm saying,
AP said something earlier, and you know what's Juan Soto's biggest contributor of this lineup? Just putting his name in the lineup. That's his biggest contributor. That's it. Just putting his name in the lineup changes everything, bro. Because look at Lindor, what he's doing. Look what Pete is out of his mind right now. Like, this is the Pete that we thought we would see consistent year in and year out. This man has almost 30 RBIs, and he only gained 25. Like, it's absurd. He's just doing like just Juan Soto putting his name in the lineup. He's doing his job. That's it.
You know, one thing that I think that this lineup, when it's rolling on all cylinders, is it works counts. It works counts, man. Soto is one of those guys that averages about 5, 6, 7 pitches. You got Lindor who can work a count. Even Alonso's taking some really impressive at bats. Like it's incredible to see. Like it's almost like a trickle down effect. Like I said, like that Sanchez situation. Like who would have thought that dude would have had 56 pitches in 2 innings? Like the Mets really are able to work starters. And I think when the Mets are right, that's when you start seeing them like get into the bullpens and like start beating up on the bullpen. I think the Mets offense right now, we haven't seen anything really like they haven't had offensive explosions. But one thing that they are doing consistently is making sure that they're not, I mean, the thing that was driving us crazy was swinging at first pitches and making stupid like outs. But for the most part, especially in this last couple of games, a 7-game winning streak, the Mets' approach has been really good. So I look forward to them doing that and to continue. But that's something that I definitely saw.
I do.
Amish is having problems with Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So that's kind of why he bounced out. I do want to show a graphic here that SNY actually put, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was yesterday or this morning. And it was kind of a recap of the series, but it was more going towards the Phillies and their numbers against the Mets since I think this is since 2022. Phillies have lost the last 7 games and 8 of the last 9 at Citi Field, including the postseason. I can already see Chris trying to hold his smile. He loves this shit. 7-20 record, 7-20 record at Citi Field since 2022, and we all remember that impeccable 9th inning comeback where we were down 7-1. So I think that's where everything started, and then it was the no hitter, or it might have been the no hitter first. And then that. I don't remember which came first, but I just know 2 historic games against the Phillies that year that might have started it all. Then obviously a 59-80 all-time record at Citi Field. We've owned them. We've pretty much owned them. And the best part about it is last year, we will forever talk about last year, but last year where everybody counted us out. Oh, they got by the Brewers, but they're running into a red hot Phillies team that won the division, and look what we did. So again, this team continues to take care of business against the number 1 team in our division as of right now, because that's what they've been for the past 3 years. And then it's been the Braves. But right now, we can't worry about the Braves because the Braves are kind of struggling themselves. You can only worry about the top dog in that division as of right now, and it was the Phillies.
But I wouldn't count the Braves out yet.
No, of course. I mean, listen, they were what, like 5-13 at one point. Now they're like 8-8. They got a couple.
Yeah, they won.
The Braves are. They're gonna go on that run. The Braves aren't somebody that I would discount yet. No,
absolutely.
And they're playing above 500 since that awful start.
Right. Yeah, you're definitely not wrong about that. And
the only thing we gotta do is just keep winning series. That's it. That's the most important thing.
Exactly. And the best part about it is that, what I do love is that they're going into their next series, which is in Washington, D.C. This Nationals team is actually playing. They've been playing solid the last couple games. James Wood is going off. That brother's having a home run.
Well, we still got one more game to talk about, which was the Peterson and Wheeler game.
I thought
let's not skip that one. Now we talked about the school. We're talking about like forever about everything. You probably like people. I hope people are still watching.
61. Shout out to the 61 in here.
Oh, all right. Well, shout out to you guys. The Jets picked up offensive lineman. Let's see what he could do. that game was one of those games that we were kind of like, I want to be greedy, but we made the statement, I'll accept it. But man, when you could step on somebody's throat and just be like, yo, we just gonna beat you up, and that's what the Mets did. I mean, Beatty, who's now been optioned off, but he came through with that clutch 2-run home run. For a minute, it looked like maybe that was going to be enough, but then Philly tied it up off Peterson, and we went into extras. But we went into extras because of, surprisingly enough, not the man's bat, but the man's arm. Soto guns down Castellanos at the plate, which would later, I believe, impact the way he ran in extra innings, because that man was shook as hell to try to run again. He could not accept it.
Yeah.
With bases loaded in the 10th, 1 out, he didn't try to run home, and I think it's because he got shocked off that arm from Soto, and interesting enough, that 10th inning, if we could talk about it, the Phillies had Castellanos on first base, and this was where the gripe came, because Diaz seemed to be injured at one point, and then they called a balk, and then they got together, and then they said, well, no, he's hurt. It's not the same. How did you guys feel about that? Do you feel like because Gary Cohen was very adamant. He said that he feels like the Knicks. See, this is what's happening. He felt that the Mets caught a break there because that definitely was a balk. Do you think that there is a fine line between a player being injured and recognizing that it's an injury that's happening?
I mean,
Well,
they
go ahead.
He did balk. I'm gonna just put that out there. He did balk after 3 steps. If once you step the third time, that's an automatic balk. Did Diaz know that? I don't know, but at some point, it's like if you're uncomfortable by the second step off, then regardless of what it is, even if you don't know if it's an injury or not, just motion to the dugout just to check, because once they come out, you can fully step off the mound and just walk around and see what it is. But he did it twice and then did it again, and whether even if he didn't know, the umpire still got to do his job. You got to follow the rules. That's an automatic ball. So they did catch a break there, and obviously, it ended up turning into bases loaded, and it didn't come to bite us in the ass, thank God. But that is an automatic balk, and Gary was right.
All right. So then a second point, Kranick comes in based off that injury. Now Kranick is forced in. He didn't get to warm up really. Comes into a tight spot. The Phillies had just tied it. They took the lead. Excuse me. Castellanos is literally there with that second run that almost feels like a killer if he scores it. And Kranick comes in. He's in a bases loaded situation, gets that out to center field where Castellanos is scared to run, and then gets the third out to fly out. Now, this is where Kranick's effort came into play. The Mets are down 1 run. So you have Lindor at second base with that ghost runner that they should get rid of that already. I don't need that anymore. I think that rule was dumb. But he's there. Soto has this kind of nothing at bat, but he got the guy over. So I'll give him that. He got the guy over, so he did the minimum. I was hoping he could have drove him in, but whatever. He did what he needed to do, got Lindor. Now the at bat that I'm still trying to wrap my mind around is Alonso looks like completely like he can't catch up to this guy's fastball. Romano threw it by him. He looks all discombobulated in this at bat. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out. This guy's power is off the chain. He reaches for a ball that's by his ankles and shoots it to the gap. Like it goes to the wall off his shoestring. I still don't even understand how that ball went out there. Like I'm still trying. Like it felt like magic. But that at bat is kind of like the precursor for like his whole entire season. Like, you're seeing this man just do things right now offensively that we've been wishing he would have been doing consistently for the last couple of years. He's on a mission to, like, I don't know, like, prove his haters wrong. Somebody, like, it's almost like John Wick. Somebody, like, killed his dog and he's out there, like, just ready to, like, take every revenge on everybody, because he looks like a different Pete. Like, this does not look like cerebral Pete that we got last year. This looks like I'm gonna beat you in the face, Pete. Like, I'm all right. Pete is not playing around. And that at bat, I think, completely, you saw it. It changed the whole complexity of that game, because the Mets didn't just settle for that, what do you call it, that one run to tie it. Now you have Pete at second. They intentionally walk Nimmo. And here comes Marte, who's been doing absolutely nothing. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's hurt. He's batting like 100 something. He doesn't look, I don't know if it's lack of playing time. I don't know what it is, but he just doesn't look good.
It could be that. I also think because, Pete protected the plate with that swing. And, when you're hot and you flare at something and you just hit it, that's one of those things where when you're hot, you're hot. So I got to give him credit for that. He continues to, stay disciplined. Yeah, those at bats previously to that pitch, it seemed like he couldn't catch up to anything. I don't even think it was just bad swings. I just think he really just couldn't catch up to Romero's fastball. But when you're hot, you're hot. Marte, the thing with Marte is that I don't even think he's hurt. I think it's him still trying to get used to being a utility player. And I think Gary Cohen put it best while he was coming into the dugout after celebrating the walk-off. He's had to take a big change. When you're playing every day to now becoming a utility player, that's not easy. You know what I'm saying? That's being a vet, but playing every day to now being a vet.
Not even a utility. He's just straight up DH once a week. That's what he's
It's not easy, bro. And then on top of that, it's not like you're the only DH. You're DHing with another guy, a lefty, who was playing every day last year. And I'm saying every day in terms of the Nationals. Mind you, he was starting for the Nationals almost every game. He gets traded to the Mets and he wasn't playing every day because of his back issues or whatever. But then this year, it hasn't been reported that he's been hurt, but he hasn't been DHing every day. Now, of course, analytics plays into that factor because of the righty lefty situation, but they're still not playing every day. So you got that into factor. So, if people want to criticize, and I'm not saying they are, but I'm just putting it out there that I'm cutting a lot of slack to Marte because Marte, like I said, is adjusting to a new role. He was playing every day and now he's not. And then on top of that, he did what he needed to do. God threw him a fucking breaking pitch inside and it hung and he put the barrel to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, he did what he needed to do. He got a hit. He took advantage of a pitch that was inside, that was right there. He put the barrel to it and he won the game. So there's really nothing you can ask for. The most that you can ask for him to do is just try to get on base. Try to get on base, because once you get on base, whether it's a walk or a base hit, you're a speed threat. And that's all you need from a guy like that. So, I'm giving him a pass.
Yeah, well, I want to go back to, I didn't get to input on the Diaz thing.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the video a couple of times because I needed to see this, because I could have sworn I was watching this game and I said, "Yo, he stepped off twice, like not hurt. Like, he stepped off twice, trying to pay attention to the road." What I think happened, that he thought he was back in the old rules. He stepped off twice. He lost the count of how many times he stepped off. And when he stepped off the third one, you right away you saw him rushing to the trainers. I think he got caught up in the moment, like, oh shit, I already stepped up 3 times. I just gotta make up something. So I'm hurt. If you listen to the post game, he's like, oh, it was just a little cramp. I already feel good. He said something about a leg being longer than another leg, and they fixed it. Like, I was like, what? Never heard of that before. But listen, I just think that Diaz got caught up in the moment and he lost track of the rules. He forgot that the third engagement was called the balk, so he called an audible. That's what I believe. I could be wrong, but that's what I believe. That's what it seems like. And also, the balk didn't really cause anything, because let's say they would have called the balk. Let's just say they did. It would have been first and second anyways, because he walked it. The next guy got walked anyways, so it didn't really affect the game. But it was just interesting to watch. And then back to Pete, man. Listen, that's impressive. If you can take a hanging slider away, the pitch that's been killing him since last year, take it the other way and hit it in the gap. It's just that tells you how locked in this guy is. And Marte, listen, I'm glad he came through, but I'm with Top on this. It's like this man is gonna play once a week at minimum. Like that's probably the most he's gonna get. And it's hard to come up, especially when you're 36 years old. Like
Yeah,
it's hard to just come up out of nowhere. Oh, guess what? Pinch hit. Like with no at bats, no swing, no warm ups, just come and hit.
right.
Like it's not an easy task, but hey, you came through and we got a dub and my brooms was out. My brooms was out, man.
That's it. That's it.
And you know what the best feeling of all? The best feeling of all, watching all those Phillies walk down the dugout with their head down like this. Oh, it's the
Cool.
best feeling. Best feeling in the world.
It's amazing. I'm telling you, just being there in that atmosphere, bro. Just the funny thing is, going to Tuesday's game, you could really tell that Philly, they don't care. Like they just don't care about their life, to the point where I'm walking back I'm walking through the parking lot, and you got these two Philly fans who are decked out in Philly gear. I'm talking about, he had Philly socks. He was wearing shorts and he had Philly socks rolled up. So he already looked gay. But you had a Met fan that goes behind them and he goes, damn, man, y'all got to go back to that nasty ass city and y'all just got swept. Yo, this Philly fan looked back and he was like, yo, come say that to my face again. And he did. The Met fan went up to him and just said it to his face. And his boy had to stay in front of him. And and everybody just laughing at this Philly fan, like, yo, like they're throwing Amtrak jokes at him. They're like, yo, your train about to leave. Like, yo, your Philly cheesesteaks are trash anyways. Like everybody's just trashing this guy. And I'm like, as a fan like that, I wouldn't have said nothing. Like your team just lost the series. Then you got to play another one tomorrow, where the least you could do is take that one and just go at least have pride. But I'm wondering now, like, you guys just got swept. Like, there's nothing y'all could say at this point. There's really nothing you could say. And then on top of that, your best hitters didn't even come through. Where was Schwarber? Where was Bryce Harper? Where Castellanos? Okay. Where was Trey Turner?
Castellanos only had that one hit, and that was with the Ghost Runner. All series. So nobody showed up. Not one.
You know what happened?
Nobody.
What happened? You know what's that called? That's called Mets got no pitching. That's what it's called.
That notorious Mets got no pitching. It strikes again.
No pitching. Hey,
that's
listen,
exactly what it's called.
All I know is that they criticize my shortstop, but they got a shortstop over there that's getting paid $300 million.
If there's one GOAT, one scapegoat, not GOAT. Trey Turner was god awful. Like Trey Turner,
trash.
You talk about a highway robbery.
Such a bullet on that one.
You talk about a highway robbery. He's robbing the Phillies.
You know what Harper did? Harper called him and told the owner, "Yes, I want my friend here. I want him to steal your money." That's exactly what he did.
That's what it is.
The Philly fans are gonna have to get up and clap like for the next 10 years to get that dude to like play good.
just to play half the salary.
That's what it is. But listen, I didn't have time to do the series preview graphic, so I'm gonna read you guys the before we wrap it up. I'm gonna read you guys the starters, the probable starters for our 4-game series in Washington, D.C. Yes, it is a 4-game series, not a 3-game. So we do play on Monday. We don't have off until Thursday. I'm not mistaken. So, just be prepared. I don't want nobody thinking that we have 3 games. It's 4 games. We do play on Monday. Our first probable is Senga against Jake Irvin. Jake Irvin has a 2-0 record with a 3.68 ERA. He has started off good so far. If we all remember, Jake Irvin left us on a 1-run game.
Don't worry, that's good. I like that ERA. The high one.
That's it. Okay, so
ERA is good.
You guys want to know Senga's ERA, by the way? 0.
Bro, it's not even a 1.
It's not even a 1. My guy's cooking right now. He's literally cooking. You
got no pitching. Come on, Cal.
Hashtag. Yes. Hashtag. Yes. You know what? After every probable that I read, We should say that because people think, the disrespect. Saturday's game, we got Mr. Money Clay Holmes against who the hell is this? Brand new guy to me. I didn't even see it. Brad Lord. He's 0-2 with a 4.73 ERA.
Yeah, we're gonna be saying no.
Yeah.
In that game, we're gonna be saying, "Oh my lord."
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my lord.
Hashtag we have no pitching. And then the third game, which is a 135 game, by the way. So just keep that in mind. We got Big Drip Goat McGill against what's this? Mitchell Parker, the lefty. He is 7-8. He is 3-1 with a 1.39 ERA. So
yeah, I feel good about that one.
Yeah,
no pitching.
Hashtag we got no pitching. Yeah, facts. And then the fourth game is a 405 game, and that's obviously the Can Man Griffin Canning against Trevor Williams, old friend Trevor Williams. And right now, Trevor Williams has a 1-2 record with a 5.11 ERA.
Don't like that.
We have no pitching. So with that being said, the Mets obviously start a 4-game series in Washington, D.C., nation's capital. Fellas, do you have any last words before we wrap it up here? Because I want to do a little bit more sweeping and kind of throw the dagger in Philadelphia before I go to bed.
I mean, I want the good times to keep going. I want the win streak to keep going. Let's extend it. I don't know how many games we're going to ultimately get in Washington. I think. And that we will keep this winning streak alive, I should say. But I think out of the 4, I don't want to be greedy. I don't want to say 4. I think that we probably take 3 out of 4.
Chris?
I'm gonna keep it neutral and keep it split. Just split. Let's keep it splitty. And if you want to give me more, then give me more. But right now, just give me split. Just give me the split. Because I said about the Phillies, just give me the series. And they got greedy. So give me the split and then get greedy after that.
Facts. Listen, that Washington Nationals team, they're young.
Oh, and P.S. I think Soto's gonna go off against his old team.
I forgot about that one. I forgot about that. That's the cherry on top, Chris. I forgot about that.
You guys didn't want to pay me? You want to pay me long term? Well, they did want to pay him.
It wasn't even that. It's the fact that they couldn't even keep his negotiations a secret. He specifically said, I just have one thing that I need you guys to do. Any negotiations that we have, I don't want it out there. And what they do. So he said, I can't trust y'all. That's it. So he's going to repay y'all a favor.
Oh, and shout out to the GM Rizzo that he didn't want to trade with the Mets in the division because he didn't want Soto to face him. Well, guess what? He's still here.
Yeah, exactly. You thought it was all good and dandy when he got traded to the Yankees, right? No. He came back.
He came back
in the division. So shout out to Juan Soto, man. Loving him already. You know, man. He's doing great. He's doing great. But
man, I just want him to get off, man. I want that dude to just start hitting. Like I can't. It's gonna be amazing when he does it, but I just want it to happen already.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he when he did I think it was the first game when it looked like it was a home run, but then they called it a foul. That was a bombasso. That was a bomb, bro. It was like it wasn't even a flare. It was literally a bomb. Like he squared that up, but obviously it was a foul, so we were short on that end. But fellas, any last words?
No, man, just keep it going, keep playing baseball. Glad to see McNeil and I'll be back, and hopefully they join the hit parade.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it's only April, and the Mets have gone on winning streaks of 5 and 7. They've won 5 and 7 games in a row.
It's not even me,
and it's not even me.
So,
hey, best team in baseball. Keep it going. Let's go, Mets.
Sure. First
Let's go, Mets.
7 record. We are 12-1 at home with a 7-game winning streak. Watch out, ladies and gentlemen, because The blue print stripes are here, not the black ones, the blue ones. But I'll leave it at that. Shout out to my guys, man.
Royal blue, to be sure. The royal blue.
The royal blues, right? No dark blue, no black, no
navy.
Straight Corona style.
No aqua, nothing. It's royal blue.
Shout out to all my heads at Roosevelt, man. That's how we do it. We party right. Anyways, shout out to the Mets Nation. We always show love and support. Shout out to my guys at Queens Baseball. Shout out to all the Met content creators that do it on a daily basis. Without y'all, we would not be doing this. And like I said, man, shout out to the New York Mets. Let's keep winning and let's go Knicks. Strong, man. Let's go Mets, man. But appreciate you.
Let's go Mets.
Let's go Knicks.
trying to get AP.
I'm just here like, yo, are we gonna win this game or not?
Yeah. Hey, we up right now, so let's go Knicks so far. But we'll check y'all on the next video. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Always love. Shoot us a follow, subscribe, share the profile, man. Let's keep making the 7 Express podcast as big as we can, man. Because we off to a hot start, and the season's only begun, man. We're only in April. May's about to get crazy. Let's keep it rolling, man. Check y'all on the next video. Peace out.
This is SNY's Gary Cohen, and this train ride is over. This is the last stop on the train. Please exit onto the platform. Thank you for riding with us.